it's time for the Indy Art Show! The Indy Art Show! The Indy Art Show! Yay! Woohoo! Featuring the hostess with the mostest, Mia, a haunted gypsy! And also featuring undiscovered talent that's alive and looking for love and support within your very own community. We are your neighbors, your creative neighbors. Yep, we're the ones that turned your neighborhood into a vibrant arts district, causing property values to rise. We're the ones that take your neighborhood and make it a fun and joyful place for everyone to live. So show us some love. Show us some love. Show us some love. Oh dear, not very loving at all, was it? Oh my goodness. I don't know, it's not very loving. We are the Indy Art Show. We are looking at pillows. Pillows. Beautiful pillows, hand designed,
They're
right?
hand painted,
Hand painted. Each one hand painted.
And most of them are quilted, and some are embellished with jewelry and lace and metallic.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Quite wonderful.
I can do your image, or
Oh, that
your
would
dog's,
Yeah.
or my own head, kind of.
Very awesome. We have Mia Cara. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Yes.
Mia Cara here, looking at her work. And we're going to stop this in a second, and we're going to switch cameras. This goes multitasking. All right. Okay. Now we've lost. Here I am. Hello.
We found you, Mary.
Oh, I was looking for myself.
There was Mary.
Found myself. So Ms. Mia Cara, where I'm going to show your business card too, so that our audience of millions of viewers can see it. Whoa. So here I am using basically Sony Vegas, which I do not have at home, so I'm not used to that. But we're gonna show this on the screen right here. Here it is, business card. If you need a doll, a pillow, sculpture, what else do you do?
I do energy work.
Energy work.
I run
Reiki.
12-step support groups.
She runs a 12-step support group, and this is her card. It shows you her website, miacaradesigns.com, miacara111@gmail.com, 716-998-9102. Mia Cara, we're going to switch over to you, my friend, and you're on the air.
How are you today?
So, good. How are you?
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been
a lot of serendipitous things are happening to me today. I'm amazed.
Yes, it's an amazing day, for sure. Here in the Western New York region, with our millions and millions of viewers here at the Indy Art Show, internationally known in Indy Art Show. Hey, if you're from China or Iraq or Indonesia or Turkey, give us a shout out, because I know that everyone around the world wants to watch this show. So today we were talking about a theme of the arts saved my life, and you actually said it, Mia Cara. You said the arts saved my life, and now you run a 12-step support group, Emotions Anonymous. It's in Amherst, New York, correct?
Yes.
Amherst, New York, just outside of Buffalo. Not too far from Trader Joe's?
Actually, the address is 120 Meyer Road.
Okay. 120 Meyer Road.
It's Boulevard Towers Apartments, and this support group is run out of my garage presently.
Okay, Boulevard
Garage number
Towers.
60 every Wednesday at 6.
Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., garage number 60 at Boulevard Tower Apartments. Come on down and get your emotions analyzed, psychoanalyzed by a bunch of people. Anonymously.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone your name.
There's no one going to be doing analytical stuff on you, or there's no one. We're all the same.
But what I'm realizing now is you're no longer anonymous, though, because you're announcing this, so you're not going to be anonymous.
Amazing.
Yikes.
Yikes, I know.
So you have to be careful what you say.
I know all people need to address their emotions, and this is what got me through prescription drug withdrawal
And I want to talk
after
about
30
that.
years.
That is amazing, and I want to talk about that because that's fascinating. It'll definitely upset people in this pharmaceutical industry. Are you out there, pharmaceutical industry? How you doing? You're gonna love this show. Whoa, watch us.
Well, similar to Crazy Wise, if anyone has ever seen the movie. It's a movie
No.
called Crazy Wise.
I haven't seen it. No.
Well, it's all about, it's interviews on Gaia.
Oh, is it?
Expo.com.
Crazy Wise. I'm gonna write that
It's
down.
all about people who were medicated because they were super creative or super enthusiastic or
Is it
you know.
CrazyWise, like
yes,
wise?
Yeah. In other words, we weren't crazy. We were really wise and intuitive, and the medical industry
I know.
suppresses it with meds
And this
instead
is-
of integrating it with the arts. That's kind of where I'm at.
This is fascinating because we've talked about this before in the Indy Art Show about this idea that artists are crazy, and also I was thinking about how the arts are very therapeutic and very healing, and I think our society doesn't appreciate that because we live in this very STEM-oriented society: science, technology, engineering, and math. It's all about STEM and technology.
Well, it's all about
and
codependency. They want us that way.
yeah, the
So
powers
they
that
can
be.
control us. Exactly.
Yeah, they can control us, and
So that's where it's at. Rather than encouraging someone who's a little crazy
Yeah.
or off.
Right. And what is crazy? What is that? It's just someone who's
need-
not like everybody else. Hello there, my friend. There is a... We have a tragedy here on the Indy Art Show.
I'll wing it half an hour
What are
more.
we going to do?
20 minutes.
Are artists crazy? Because actually, this is a debate psychologists have actually had for a long time now. I do not know why people would think that artists are crazy. I don't know what will give anyone that feeling, because I think I'm just like everybody else. As artist, I think I am normal person. No? Not normal? This not normal? But what is normal is my question, because the thing is that is the question. Who decides what's normal? And if we don't let ourselves be a little quote unquote crazy now and then, maybe we will really go crazy. So that's one thing, one question that I have, and then another question I have about artists is, and again, this is a debate psychologists have had according to what I've read in an actual book, and I do read those. I read books sometimes. Amazing. So, but in any case, there really is this question: are artists born crazy? Like, is the artist's brain, the creative brain, so similar to the schizophrenic brain that we are crazy, or is it that the world makes us crazy because we live in a very STEM-oriented society? It's all about science, technology, engineering, and math. It's all about thinking in this very linear, very specific way, and making money. Of course, very important. You must make money. You must. If you're not making a lot of money, you are not a very successful capitalist. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, no wonder our YouTube videos are being censored. Anyway, so point is just that creative people tend to not care a lot about money. I'm making a generalization, but artists tend to care more about their art than anything else. And a lot of artists will sacrifice their financial health for their art. There are people who will just work part-time so they have more time with their art, or they'll work in a job that gives them flexibility in their schedule so they can pursue their art, right? And that often means less money. And because most of us artists are more focused on our art than we are on our day job. The day job is secondary, not quite so important. So what happens is a lot of us are struggling financially, and then we get the people who tell us, why don't you get a real job? Why are you just being an artist? You're flaky. And there's also the fact that our society tends to think that the arts are for children. So children should take dance classes and theater and learn to, and audition for the school play and do finger painting. But adults should not be doing those things. We're adults now. We don't do art.
Well, it's not that we shouldn't be. We just shouldn't be expected to earn a living by it.
You don't think artists should make a living at
Well, if it was meant to be, but I think art is just a passion in a person's life. You'll find time, and if you work a 9-to-5 job and your energy is drained, that's not conducive to creating. I mean, you have to be in a relaxed state of mind, even if you do 1 or 2 hours a day.
But most of us need to do that. We just need to take on a job, whatever supports our art. But, I want to hear more about your how art saved your life and how you went without meds for 30 years.
Yeah, that's kind of all I can
So 30 years you
how
went
it
with,
affected me in my life.
So you went without meds for 30 years.
No, I was on meds.
Oh, you were on meds for 30 years, sorry.
For a lot of diagnosis.
And then you essentially...
And I decided, because of the energy that's drained from you, and you become like a robot, and your feelings, everything is suppressed, and meds suppress more, that's not the right venue, and I didn't want people pushing my buttons, which is what was going on. So I left a very long time relationship. It was abusive. But on the other hand, a lot of doors were open for me. And art and my 12-step group is kind of how I got off the meds. Today, I'm just trying to proactive and preventative health.
That's amazing. Are you doing nutritional things too?
Not much of the nutritional. More of the energy healing and meditation and trust your intuition and trust.
Okay.
So after 30 years of meds, not anymore. And my path is creative, and if it wasn't for my art, that is my medicine. I tell everybody, it's my medicine, got to take it.
Yeah.
And rest. That's been my challenge, so I can only speak about my challenge. Because my energy is high, and my energy level is high, and I do Reiki and healing weekly at Trinity Church on Delaware.
And when do you do that? What day?
On
Sundays?
Trinity Church. And I still find time in the wee hours of the morning when the world is sleeping to create.
Okay, tell our audience what time on Sundays you come to Trinity Church.
Oh, gee. It's a one Sunday 10:30 service.
So every Sunday at 10:30
You'll
go
see
over
me.
there.
I'm the healing minister during communion time.
Oh, okay.
You can come
Great.
experience the healing touch of Reiki. And
Wow.
I integrate a lot of other things too in my healing.
Well, that's just amazing. And tell us about your support group, your 12-step
And
group.
that's kind of what my main focus is now, to get more people on tapping into their emotions so they don't take meds or a drink or an abusive relationship. Tap into what triggers you to do these negative things that keep you stuck.
Yeah, and this is a very controversial topic because I know there's a lot of people who'd rather just take a pill.
Make it go away. Yeah, that's a Band-Aid.
Yeah, and it's your choice. I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to tell somebody what to do, with their life. But what about the problems that cause the mental health issues? That would be my question. If someone's being abusive to you, or had been abusive to you, or if you have unresolved issues that you haven't faced up to.
So it's the emotion, addressing each emotion that you do have, rather than shoving it under the rug and suppressing it with pills, or just living in a society that, you're mainly a robot for them to push your buttons and control you. It's all codependency. So if you just break free from that box of creativity and allow the creative part of you to awaken, which is the inner child, to just go for it.
But there again, I think the issue of money does raise its head because, if you're working all the time, art takes a lot of time. Art takes a lot of time, and it takes money quite often to be an artist. Well,
my art was not taught, I never touched a brush or paint in my life. It's not schooled. It happened after my third time in being hospitalized for a nervous breakdown.
Oh, we're on the air.
I know, and that's how I came through. I had to fight to be in a creative class, whether it was painting or things like that. And that helped me. That was my medicine that got me off the meds. And the 12-step support group. After that, it's 20 years now.
That's amazing.
Sober, drug-free, helping others, and that to me is my purpose.
That is really, really, truly amazing. I think the arts are very, very healing, but somehow our society seems to not appreciate that. It seems that...
Got to go to Europe. Americans are kind of stifled.
You think that Europe is more
Big time.
appreciative? Really?
Yeah, yeah, they're respected more.
And artists are?
Yeah.
And in what sense would you say?
They're revered. They're listened to. It's just different. It's just they're respected more. Like you said, in a capitalist, it's all money-making thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what you want on the wall and what color scheme is like really
Right.
not in depth enough to what the artist is trying to relate to the person
Yeah.
appreciating it.
I think it's really interesting, like, there's a way in which censorship can take place by just only allowing big businesses to decide what kind of art can be produced. Like, for example, near Hurdle Avenue here in Buffalo, on one of the alleyways, they actually had some artists come in and paint.
On the wall? Like
yeah,
a wall art, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like graffiti. Now, if an artist off the street went there and just painted some graffiti, they would say that's illegal. But this was legal because somebody who has a lot of money said, let's bring these artists in and let them paint. But then I'm thinking, even though I love the art, at the same time, there's a certain censorship there because you're not just letting somebody from off the street come in and paint on the side of that building.
It's a program of some kind.
Yeah, so somebody's
okay.
decided which artists are allowed to do it and what they can and cannot paint. You know, even if it's
That's
not
sad.
stated explicitly,
Sad.
those artists know they can't paint anything controversial. They're not going to be able to paint anything that's against big
Well,
business.
I know. I
you
go to
know.
Locust Street Art along Harriet Tubman Way. There's lots of that street art on those walls that had to be
Harriet Tubman Way around
coming
there.
to Locust Street off Main.
Okay, now is
Yeah.
that street art
Michigan.
or is it commission?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful. It
because
just blows my mind.
it's technically illegal, right? It's illegal to just go and
Deface.
paint. Yeah.
Deface. Whereas
So-
I know in Germany, I was there for a while living, you can't touch and repaint these homes. They have all these angelic and beautiful scenes on the houses.
Oh, paintings?
You cannot.
On
yeah.
people's houses?
Yeah, you cannot paint your home. It's almost like in America, it's like historical houses you can't paint.
Oh, yeah.
It's similar, but it's anywhere that an artist puts their brush on their house. It's respected more. It's in the street art. It's people are listening to and watching it. It's like,
Well, see, so we have the art, but it's just controlled art.
there you go.
You
That's
know?
it. That's the word.
And they just did something on the street where they had artists come in and do some chalk drawings on Hurdle Avenue.
Who's
too.
they?
I don't know. That's my
That's just
question.
it.
Who's
Who's
they?
they?
Who makes this decision? Like, why can't
Right.
just any artist? And same thing with music. You can't just pick up an instrument and play. You have to get a license. Why? You know,
To
like
play? Well, in Manhattan,
publicly.
I lived all my life. You know, you go to Central Park and there's performers, there's street performers everywhere.
But don't you need a license though?
No,
I think you
no,
do.
No, only vending.
Oh, you
Only
mean
vending.
if you ask
but if these are performers painting and not selling, they're just
because I
scripting
know
people and performing their whatever, their poetry or
Well,
singing.
if you want to play in the subway, I know you do. You
You
need a
could-
license. You do in New York City because I'd heard of some. There's like this whole thing going on that's been going on for the past few years. This way of trying to stop people from performing publicly without a license.
I'm not
I
familiar
heard
with that.
I heard that it was happening all over the world.
I mean, if homeless are sitting in the subway entertaining everyone,
I don't know.
I
that
don't think they applied for a license.
I've heard of people getting arrested, and I know when I lived in Los Angeles, there were a whole bunch of street performers who got arrested. And it was lucky I wasn't out there performing that day.
Yeah.
It was just by coincidence.
What do you do, Mary?
Well, this is supposed to be about you, Miss Mia Cara,
Tell
not
me,
about
tell me.
me.
No, tell me,
Come
tell me.
on. Well,
I just love any type of creativity, and I feel if you just integrate any type of creative expression in your life, that's medicine for you.
Oh, sure.
If you follow that path and do your 9-to-5 job, that'll just come.
Oh, yeah. The arts have
just-
definitely rescued me because I'm a writer and a musician, and I make videos,
Yeah.
and I studied acting too, and I really wanted to act. But, you know, the entertainment industry, that whole Hollywood industry,
Yeah.
is so incredibly sexist, racist, ageist. You've got to be 18 to look younger. You've got to be skinny, and you've got to be willing to
so
sleep your way to the
sad.
top if you're a woman. You really do.
Still? Still?
Especially now, yes.
Really?
That was my experience, and I've never been. I even had an experience recently with a musician who said he wanted to play with me, and then it turns out he wanted more than that.
So you're not respected
So-
for your talent?
No, I'm not. No, the music industry is very, very, very sexist, actually. It's one of the worst industries for women to get into. It's very male-dominated, very hard for me to find musicians to play with because they're mostly guys. And usually they only want to play with me if they're thinking about sleeping with me, and they don't want to
They
sleep.
want to play with you.
Yeah, they want to play with
And
me.
another,
Like I'm a little toy. I want to play my guitar. Thank you very much. My guitar is my husband right now. Sorry, I'm taking.
play beautifully.
Thank you. But yeah, that's the entertainment industry. There really is evil in that industry, and it's sad because artists, I think, are not evil. I think artists are trying to create a better world. I think the arts are healing. I think artists are trying to heal themselves or heal other people. That's true of most artists.
I lived in New York all my life, and I'm only here in Buffalo for 4 years. And you have to be on a 2-year waiting list to get your art displayed in a church, let alone.
really?
Yeah. So I come to Buffalo. I mean, I had like 6 solo shows already, and that was not a job. And
Well-
not that I'm making money off it.
Well, see, Buffalo's not working out for me because I can't find musicians to
Go
play
back
with.
to New York and trade.
I'm not going to go to New York, though, because I can't afford it. But I'm
too
just saying,
much.
you know,
I feel very welcomed here. I like Buffalo, and it's been open to me in all my creative efforts,
that's good.
and I'm thriving. And I have that peace inside me, so I guess
Oh, that's
I'm at
good.
the age where I can afford that peace inside with me and let everything else go.
That
It
is
would be
awesome.
nice if I sold some of my work. I mean, check my website.
Well, if you want
It's
to
got
make
all
some
sorts of goodies on it.
If you want to make some spooky art, I'm going to try to, and I've never done this before, so we'll see how this goes, but I'm going to try to organize a spooky art show in October for Halloween and get artists like to paint like just anything spooky. You could probably bring in one of your heads.
I'll try.
Oh, she makes heads. She sculpts heads.
Yeah, I think it was on early in the show. You
So yeah,
scanned a few of them.
we did. We showed some of her heads, her headless humans. What happened to the bodies of those people?
Well,
Or should I
actually,
even
after
ask?
I think we mentioned it on the previous show that after I sculpted them, I met the person.
Okay, so you need to
Like
just.
really weird.
So
like
what
a
you've been trying to do
user.
is sculpt a handsome man.
Yes, I will create
The love of
my
your life,
soulmate.
so that you'll see him in person. And you've been working on that,
in
I
one
take
way
it.
or another.
Yeah. All right. So the sexy man will be her next sculpture. Zag, I want to see it. Will it look like Tom
So
Cruise?
do I.
Or
I don't know.
Oh,
Pretty much
okay.
when I do create, I'm listening to an audiobook
Okay.
and I'm creating because your really focus is on the book.
right.
And your hands are doing the work on the canvas or the clay.
So intuitive art, we were talking about that earlier, like
Well,
how
my-
it's like intuitive, like you're not
Yeah.
even, you don't even know how to teach it to somebody else
Yeah,
or
I
show
can't.
someone else how to do
I
it.
can. It's you really have to follow your intuition and your creative abilities and
And yet there is a method to it because people do teach the arts, and then there is a method, and you know, it's just when it comes to you so naturally, it's hard to.
I haven't been taught. I
figure that
wouldn't
out.
know. It's
But
hard.
you do come to Locust Street.
And if I do teach art, it's in a way that it's healing. So
Mm-hmm.
I combine my art with healing. I begin with a meditation,
Mm-hmm.
and the meditation is kind of coaxing your inner child out, which has been buried for usually many years and angry because you're not talking to it.
Talk to it.
And you close your eyes and you create with your left hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you make life mandalas, and you'd be surprised what that child wants to tell you and how healing it is, information-wise.
Now-
How you can tap into that and continue
This reminds
creating
me.
from that child aspect of life.
Yeah, that's amazing. This reminds me of a long time ago, a few years ago, when I lived in Minneapolis. I interviewed a woman who ran an art gallery, and I've got to find that footage again. And she actually was hiring homeless women to work in her gallery. She only hired homeless women, and she said it was healing for them. They created little dolls that represented them and their childhoods, because a lot of them came from very difficult childhoods.
That's a true artist, see.
Yeah, and so she had this little nonprofit where she helped heal these women, and she said she paid them a
I'd love
decent
to
wage.
meet that kind of person. I'm
Yeah.
trying to connect with that kind of niche here in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like a little art, if you want it, on the wall while I'm doing a little Reiki healing on
Mm-hmm.
people.
Well, Locust Street could be that place, you know.
They have to be really, well, it's a
Could bring it.
nonprofit, that's true.
Could bring it to them, bring it up to them, or to me, just start doing it there without telling them anything. And I'm going to walk
Without a
around and
permit.
heal your artists without your permission.
I don't,
minute, I'll-
I don't think artists need the healing. It's the others out there.
Yeah.
It's the they
Right,
of
right.
this world who has no concept of where the art comes from. It's not
Right.
artists.
And
I think
yeah,
it's-
it's an interesting thing how our society really devalues artists in so many ways.
It's so important
know,
to integrate
just-
in their life, and the school system is not welcoming it, is not
Yeah.
funding properly.
And what they don't realize is the arts develop your brain. I know music actually makes you smarter, it affects your brain in a lot of different ways. Drumming is supposed to actually uniquely help kids with behavioral problems. If you teach a kid to play drums, it changes your brain. It actually does.
It's a rhythm, is what you're listening to.
Yeah, it changes your brain, and also listening
It's
to music.
grounding, like autistic people and children, and or anybody that's not really like focused on what they're doing. Drumming, connects you to the earth.
Yeah.
And the heartbeat.
Yeah.
And then your own heartbeat. So that awareness is grounding, and it's natural. It's not something that can be bought or practiced or costs money.
And they say that humming a tune actually can heal depression. Helps heal depression.
Okay, humming is a vibration.
Play music.
And when you tap into that vibration from the earth, that's what's healing. It's the sound. It's the sound that's healing, not the words or the pictures, I think.
And have you heard of isochronic tones and binaural beats?
All the time. A friend of mine in the program is trying to do her CDs on the sound.
Oh,
healing.
Nice, okay.
Besides the vibration, I think she's got different sound levels that you tap into for a certain chronic ailment or something.
Yeah, I listen to those on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how effective it is to listen to it on YouTube, but
if you put earphones on and close your eyes and with the intent of allowing it in to heal whatever is needed to be healed, like EFT, tapping, that's where it's going to go. You don't have to mindfully put your mind on anything. It's just the intent. Okay, when I go in, this resonation of this vibration is going to heal my foot, my hip, my whatever, my heart.
Yeah, and we only have a minute left,
Sound.
but yeah, I just want to briefly mention also theater, because theater helped me a lot with social anxiety, which I've had, and very severely when I was a kid.
Okay.
And theater acting really was very healing for me, and it was very sad for me to figure out that because I can't stay at the age of 18 for the rest of my life, that I can't do it anymore. But anyway, except I have my comedies which will be showing at the Infringement Festival, and you'll have to go and watch my comedy.
But then you have to tap into what went on that made you stop, or had you developed that shyness, or that's what EA is all about. Tapping into the time in your life that had to be a catalyst for you to just submit to the outer world. You kind of just got to go within and trust.
Yeah, we're starting to run out of time again.
I'm so grateful for being here, Mary. Thank you. My website, it's got all the other things.
Yeah.
And also offers all healing workshops.
It does.
Well, the whole thing with me is just I'm trying to reach people to help them tap into their emotions, what triggers them in life, what triggers them in alcohol, what triggers them for gambling, whatever.